So Walt tests out that new water heater, then turns to Junior, apologizing for his drunken antics at the bash. Junior's like, but I kept up, right? I had 3 shots. Walt's shook, bounces out not knowing how to feel, then goes to adjust that water heater and peeps a soft spot in the closet floor. Turns out, water damage done messed up the wood. There's probably just water damage in that one spot, and my dude is cutting the whole floor out.
I feel like the water damage is because he hands that like plank to Junior.
And it looks fine.
It looks fine. It looks just fine. And he's like obsessing over it. Like he's desperate to
get all that energy out. He's found a project that he can completely take over. If there's a little bit of mold, that wood's coming out. I don't know why he's all under the house, though. If it was like that, you'd like the hallway outside of that closet and everything would be like...
Well, the last time we saw the water heater before he replaced it, right? It was like sitting in a big old puddle of murky water.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to imagine that there is like plenty of water damage to the floor. So it makes sense that it's moldy in a large area, but it seems like he's like cutting out spaces that it's like he's extended it. He's artificially made it more work than what it needs to be because he wants something to do. Because he's working on this for days.
I think, what if that's just a part of Walter's personality and that's exemplified in everything he does? Like, think about how that goes with his meth sales and everything that he's doing. Like, it seems like he takes something that should be not necessarily simple, but not as complicated as he makes it, and he blows it up into a huge thing.
But he does it competently. He blows it up into a big thing because he's so good at it. Like,
he's competent at this. He gets this figured out.
He does, but like, I guess I see what you're saying. He tends to
do too much.
Yeah.
He does too much. This is just an example of that. It's just he can't be selling meth or doing meth stuff right now, so instead he's going to be Handyman Walt.
I feel like the Handyman Walt thing could also be like a like we were talking about the whole masculinity thing during the tequila scene.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be like an extension of that. Like he's looking for a way to provide something, like some sort of security, or like be the macho stereotype.
I agree. I think without being able to sell meth, he doesn't see a viable way to provide for his family. So he's just trying to do random bullshit that they've been asking him to for 2 seasons.
Or like the way that he usually expresses his masculinity. It's like he got his cancer diagnosis and it changed him. You know what I'm saying? He became the man without fear.
Mm-hmm.
And he stumbled into some situations which he discovered things that gave him a rush, actually. Mm-hmm. Like after he blows up Tuco's office and like freaks out in the car all spitting and shit.
Yeah.
Like he learned that, yo, this psycho shit actually...
This works for me.
Yeah, this works for me.
Pretty good at this.
So this becomes like an outlet for him to express that version of like what he thinks gives him a rise, what makes him a man. And so now he's trying to replace it with other manly stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Impressing his son and, you know, like fixing stuff up. Like, what's next?
Yeah, right. Walt's trying to apologize to Junior, and bro is just not getting it. Why do you think that is, other than the fact, he's 16? I don't know. He's just so intent on his dad being proud of him, it seems. Like, he cares more that he was able to handle those 3 shots.
Yeah. Yeah, then Walt's apologize. It's like he wasn't even expecting an apology.
Yeah. He doesn't see...
Like, he doesn't feel like he needs one.
Yeah. He doesn't even understand why Walter is apologizing.
Yeah. Like I think that Walter... I think that maybe that situation did win Junior some respect back for Walt.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I threw up, but my dad's the cool dad.
Yeah. His dad just like low-key punked the dude that he idolized.
Yeah, for real.
He's like, yeah, and then my dad didn't back down. Like, I could see him, like, starting to, at least for the time, look up to his dad a little bit again. And so he's proud of himself for he did as many shots as his dad and Hank did combined.
Mm-hmm.
At least in that session that they had. But yeah, I think that's why he doesn't get it, because it's almost like
he's proud of himself.
Yeah. Learns that it worked and he's like, well, I don't know what to do about this thing.
I don't think it helps that either Walter, he makes a lot of the apology about his embarrassment and how he feels, how Walter feels. Like, it'd be really easy to just tell your 16-year-old son why this situation was wrong, why I'm apologizing, why this should not have happened.
Right, because clearly Junior doesn't understand why it shouldn't have happened. But that's an interesting point to make, because I think that it's important to be able to express to people, like sometimes when you're receiving an apology, at least when I am, it makes me feel better to know that the person who's apologizing feels bad for doing what they did.
Yeah.
So like that part of it, along with what you just described, would have been a perfect apology. The fact that it's just him talking about how he feels about what happened.
That's the worst kind of apology.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, who cares if you're embarrassed, bro? I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
My stomach hurts still.
You didn't throw up in the pool, Walt.
Yeah. I'm sorry about the pool is what he says when he walks up.
Walter Jr.
Yeah, Walter Jr. He apologizes about the pool, and that's what makes Walt start to apologize, because he's like, no, like, that's not...
You have nothing to apologize about, Walter Jr. You did nothing wrong.
But then he doesn't explain what happened. The dynamics between, like, what happened. And
it was a very awkward conversation.
Yeah. It was very one-sided. And you know what? I didn't really notice that until just watching it with you.
Mm-hmm.